Hello and welcome to QuickTale English. Today, we share a famous and powerful love story, Johnny Cash and June Carter, a story of redemption, faith, and lifelong devotion. Our story begins in the 1950s. Johnny Cash was a young, rising star in country music. He had a unique, deep voice and wrote songs about hard times, sadness, and trains. He was famous, but his life was difficult. He was often on the road, away from his first wife, Vivian. Around the same time, June Carter was also a star. She came from the famous Carter family, a group that was legendary in country music history. June was funny, energetic, and full of light. She was a great singer and an excellent comedian. She was married twice before meeting Johnny. The first meeting. Johnny and June met backstage at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville in 1956. Johnny was immediately attracted to June's energy. He told her, "I always wanted to meet you." June was polite, but she was wary, careful. She saw Johnny's talent, but she also saw the sadness and the darkness in his eyes. They started working together, traveling on the same tour with other stars like Elvis Presley. They sang together, often performing the playful song Jackson. On stage, their chemistry was electric. Offstage, they became close friends. But their relationship was complicated. Johnny was already married, and June was married to her second husband, Rip Nix. They maintained a professional and friendly relationship, but the deep connection was always there. The darkest times. The late 1950s and early 1960s were the darkest years for Johnny Cash. The pressure of fame, the constant touring, and the feeling of being lonely led him down a terrible path. He developed a serious addiction to pills, drugs. He was missing shows, getting into trouble with the police, and his marriage was failing. His career was almost destroyed. June watched this destruction. She saw the great man and talent that Johnny was, but she also saw the drugs slowly taking him away. The Carter family, especially June's mother, told June to stay away from Johnny. He was too wild, too unstable. But June saw beyond the addiction. She saw the good heart. In 1965, Johnny was arrested near the Mexican border for carrying illegal pills. This was a very low point. He felt he had no one. However, June did not leave him. She felt a deep responsibility, not just as a friend, but as a guardian. She, along with her family, started helping Johnny. The rescue and the proposal. June and her family invited Johnny to live on their farm in Tennessee for a time. It was a quieter, healthier environment. June, who was deeply religious and strong in her faith, refused to give up on him. She did not lecture him, she simply loved him and supported his recovery. She used humor and persistence, never giving up, to pull him out of his addiction. She was his rock, his stability. She set firm rules. If Johnny was using pills, June would not be near him. Her presence was his biggest motivation to stay clean. In 1967, after years of struggle, Johnny finally had a breakthrough. He went cold turkey, stopped immediately, and managed to overcome his worst addiction. He knew that June was the reason he was alive. For years, Johnny had asked June to marry him. She always refused. She had been married twice, and she did not want to marry a man who was fighting a drug war. She wanted him to be whole, complete first. In 1968, Johnny planned a surprise. During a live concert in London, Ontario, Canada, while they were singing Jackson, Johnny stopped the song. In front of thousands of fans, he got down on one knee and asked June to marry him. June was shocked. The audience cheered loudly. "I will marry you, but you have to finish the song," June joked, smiling through tears. Johnny finished the song and June finally said yes. A lifelong devotion. They were married on March 1st, 1968. Their marriage was not perfect. They had arguments, and Johnny sometimes relapsed, returned to the bad habit. But June was always there, reminding him of his worth and his faith. Their devotion to each other was legendary. They had one son together, John Carter Cash. They continued to perform and record music together for over 30 years, including the famous duets. June helped Johnny reconnect with his Christian faith. which became a foundation for his music and life. Johnny often said that June saved his life. She brought light into his darkness and stability to his chaotic life. June passed away first in May 2003. Johnny was heartbroken. He performed one last concert just a few months after her death. He dedicated the entire show to her, telling the audience, "The spirit of June Carter overshadows me tonight. She said she was coming to visit me tonight, and I can feel her." Johnny Cash died just 4 months later, in September 2003. It seemed he couldn't live without his beloved June. Their story is a powerful reminder that love is not just a feeling, it is an action. It is the persistence to help someone through their darkest times, and the devotion to build a better life together. June was Johnny's salvation, and their love story continues to inspire millions. Thank you for joining QuickTale English. Subscribe for more stories about love, music, and the power of faith, and continue practicing your B1 English. See you next time.